Yeah, you're on the radio show. Listen to me. I'm Mimi Steward.
Y yo soy J. Jesús Rodríguez Caballero. Este es tu show. Listen to me, que comienza ahora. Bueno, mi gente, gracias. Este es otro martes más bendecido por nuestro Dios. This is your award-nominated show. Listen to me, broadcasting from cyberspace. Miss Mimi Steward is here with me, as always, executive producer for Sama Productions and Steward Management here. And Mimi, we're blessed today. It's not kind of nice, chilling. You know, we thought something was going to happen with a solar eclipse, so we didn't invite any guests. No, we have some guests that are going to be calling in a little while. And also, yeah, remember that you could call us in at 407-601-5087. But we'll be talking about solar eclipse in a little while. And we're going to be doing that. But first of all, we want to give blessings to God. And let me do this really quick prayer. Amado Dios, cada nuevo amanecer es un regalo que me hace recordar el inmenso amor que tú tienes por mí. Qué sublime es poder despertar y darte gracias, porque tuve un techo que cobijó mi sueño, porque me das salud, porque siempre hay alimentos en mi mesa, porque tengo una hermosa familia, tengo grandes amistades. Señor, mi vida es maravillosa, gracias a ti. Por favor, nunca te apartes de mí, de mi senda, pues cada día que pasa yo necesito más de tu luz y tu compañía. Amado Dios, te pido que en este nuevo día tu gracia, tu amor y tu misericordia no se aparten de mí ni de mi familia. Por favor, ilumina nuestras mentes con tu sabiduría y nuestro corazón con tu bondad. Guíanos en cada una de nuestras actividades. Sé nuestro refugio, seguro y nuestro valle de reposo. Este nuevo día lo viviré lleno de alegría y de optimismo, pues puedo sentir tu presencia en mí, y si tú estás conmigo, nada habrá de faltarme. De hoy voy a tener, Padre, te pido que por favor sigas llenando mi vida de hermosas bendiciones, de amor, de dicha y de prosperidad. Amado Dios, por favor, revísteme de humildad y de don de servicio. Permíteme ayudar al hermano que lo necesita. Hazme un instrumento de tu obra y permite que aquellos que se acerquen a mí puedan sentir tu presencia. Señor, yo confío en ti, en tus maravillosos planes, por eso pongo mi día en tus manos. Por favor, contempla mi vida y mis necesidades, y si es tu voluntad, concédeme la dicha de alcanzar los milagros por los cuales te he clamado. Toda mi fe está en ti, Señor. Acepto tu obra, tus tiempos perfectos. Gracias, Padre, por escuchar y atender mi oración. Eres mi mejor amigo. Te amo con el amor más puro y honesto. En nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Basically, we have to give thanks to God for what we have, the friends we have, the roof that we have over our heads. And that is why the main and core mission of Listen to me here in Radio UNT.net, la emisora cristiana que te acerca a Dios, RadioUNT.net. Through its music, it brings you closer to God. Well, my dear Mimi, how you doing today? And there's a couple of things you've been really active. Congratulations, you're going back to get your education.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I went back to school. I'm enrolled, and it's been over 10 years, but I'm continuing, and I'm ecstatic. I'm just happy to be here. It's never too late to go back, and why not?
That's true. The new number is 407-483-6423. So I do apologize. So if you're listening to me, those that are going to call, 407-483-6423, and we'll text you in a little while the new number. But Mimi, talk to us a little bit about those other plans and projects. How the rolling of your son's movie, that's finished already, right?
Yeah.
It's in post-production, right?
It is. It's to be released in September, if I'm not mistaken, October. Yeah, it's finished. They're in the process of now trying to see where to release it at. So.
Good. So they're finished the post production, and now they're just looking for venues to release it, right?
Yes, correct.
Cool. That would be great.
It's called Looking for Me, and it's by Full Sail University. You know, the students there that's going for their master's degree, they've created this short film, and we have so many talented people here in Central Florida. So I just can't wait to see the finishing product. The staff is amazing. The crew, the production team, the director, the producer, amazing. They're so talented. Everything was so organized. Their structure is amazing. It's a really good school, really good students.
Yeah, and basically again, we've always come to the conclusion that Orlando, Florida is the city beautiful, but not only it's beautiful because of what's going on, but of all that is occurring in Orlando with creative services. Because have you noticed that there's been a jump in productions of independent movies? As a matter of fact, did you know that there's a movie called The Florida Project?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it was filmed in Kissimmee.
Wow.
So we've been in contact with the casting director of that movie, Miss Cuba, and we've noticed that some of the talent that's been with us is communicating with her to be able to get information on how to break out into the movie. So we have one of the hottest casting directors, and we hopefully can connect with her so we could have her over the phone, since she lives in California. So we could have her over the phone, and we could talk to her about being a part of Listen to Me and talk to her about those projects. So movies here in Orlando are growing at a very astronomical rate. Not only movies from theaters like A24 production companies, Johnny Depp's production company, many other production companies are moving to the side between, they're calling it the Bermuda Triangle of the creative, and I'm gonna explain it. There's Atlanta, there's Miami, and there's Orlando. That triangle right there constitutes the bulk of most of about 60% of the movies that were made last year came out of this triangle.
I see it. I already knew. I know Atlanta is hot. I see it coming down in Miami currently right now. Right now Orlando is starting to get a lot of involvement within these projects. There's a lot of casting calls out here now. I've been seeing a lot too. So. Oh yeah,
and basically what we're doing is we're trying to. Let me see if that works. Basically, what we're trying to do is to bring forth all that talent. Angel Liz has been involved in some projects. Caramel has been involved in some projects.
Yeah. She's a writer.
She's a writer. Diamond Valentina, Alexi, aka Alexi. She's also been involved in movies and production company. Hope, Brandy Hope. She's also been involved in her own production companies. So basically, that's what we're trying to see if that get more out of it. Because you're right. Now that these big companies are looking towards Orlando, here's where we have to start helping. And again, I've always told business people, if you unite helping these young talents, you're going to benefit in advertising, you're going to benefit in marketing, you're going to benefit in people coming in to all that is happening. And that is one of the things that we have to do. Create support. Businesses have to come in and help these new stars rising. And a lot of people, they think that how can I say, investing in the new talent is a waste of time. No, it ain't. You will be able to make your money tenfold. You are helping these people create their crafts. And I'm saying this because, a lot of venues, they want to charge a lot of money to be able to do productions or presentations, because now they think that Hollywood's looking this way. There's a whole bunch of money to be thrown. Yes, these big studios may have those budgets, but minor medium to small to medium sized startups in production companies, they don't have this budget. So probably something that we got to talk to our politicians, our senators, our congressmen, somebody involve the politicians. But anyway, Mimi, we haven't talked in a while about Orange County politics, and I have Ken Dwyer from OCREC, the Orange County Executive Committee. Ken, how you doing, brother? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Ken. How you doing, brother? Thank you very much for being in the show. Listen to Me. What has happened in Orange County politics these days, my brother? If we could talk about it a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on with Orange County politics? I know that there was a Republican meeting. Do you have any information to provide to us about what happened in that meeting?
Okay, at the board meeting,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we did. The most important thing is the District 44
Mm-hmm.
special election, which was run by Bobby Ostrowski.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We call Bob. Yep. And he won that very narrowly. Mr. Newstreet, who was his opponent, John Newstreet from the Kissimmee Chamber of Commerce, gave him a very tough race. And Bobby worked hard and edged it out. Now I'm reading in the paper that the Democratic candidate is going to be withdrawing. And we do not know if the Democratic Party will be able to put together another candidate.
Well, my sources say that the Democratic Party of Orange County want to try and solidify their hold to the congressional districts that they already have. That means Darren Soto, Val Demings, and Stephanie Murphy. Darren Soto is going to have a type of venue. I don't know if it's this week or next week. Do you know if there's going to be any attempt to be able to go to those events to face him, or because I'm still seeing, Ken, that the Orange County Republican Party has not done anything in the Latino community, and point blank, I don't. What's going on with RPOF? Are they going to invest in us? Are they just going to let us hang out and dry? What do you think is going on in the Latino side in the Republican Party? Because nothing has happened.
Well, I know that District 50 has a Latino representative that was elected. All right, so that's the good part. Now, I happen to be one of the people who also agree that we should be doing more in the Latino community. I would remind people that if you are any kind of color, but come down for, if you are Latino, Thursday night to the Mark Street Center at 6:45. And then you'll be able to see the Republican Party and meet some of the people and get more involved. I know that I'm putting on an event out in the Chinatown area in Metro West Colonial. So I know I'm doing my part to outreach to the businesses in the Asian community. So on September 8th, we're putting on an event. And if anyone is interested in attending that event or information on that event, our website is All Business Outreach. That's one word, All Business Outreach. And our Gmail is allbusinessoutreach@gmail.com. So that's all business, one word, @gmail.com. And our website is All Business Community. That's allbusinesscommunity.biz. So there's information on our event. So therefore, we are participating in reaching out to all the communities in Orange County, and particularly the reason I'm here is we want to get the Latino community involved.
Great, yeah, and I've always counted with your help, Ken. I've never denied that, and I'm very grateful for your participations, either in my radio shows or other events that the Hispanic Republican Organization has ever done. The only thing is that we need your help to help get to higher ups in the Republican Party of Florida, the RPOF, to be able to make them understand, and I say this with all humble respect, they are looking at the strategy the same way they're looking at the strategy for 2016, which is use volunteers and versus millions and millions of dollars that has been invested in both Darren Soto's campaign, Stephanie Murphy's campaign, Val Demings' campaign. I mean, we have seasoned operators that have more than 11 years of community structuring and restructuring. That is why we are still behind enemy lines, Kenneth. And our humble respects is probably see if we could get any meetings with the chairman of the RPOF to be able to come to my show or speak outside of the microphones, and see if we can coordinate in direct straightforward community events, because we have to, because Kenneth, Donald Trump has given us the seeds of how to do a campaign. We have to. We may not have to be able to fill out stadiums with people, because only he could do that. But we need to start looking for Latino businesses where we could start campaigning and moving the ball and making sure that all these lives, because, you know, Kenneth, you're no stranger. You've chewed some of the same dirts that I have. They're saying that Trump is a racist when that's not true. They're saying that Levinsky, Wayne, the one who's running against Darren Soto, has no experience. Well, Darren had no experience either. You know, he had the money from the Democratic Party. You know, Wayne is a good candidate. We still have to formulate candidates against Stephanie Murphy, against Val Demings. We have to regain that foothold, right, my brother?
Oh, yes, but I would remind you that Renee Percentis, for example, the representative from District 50, all right, is elected, has been supported by the Republican Party of Orange County.
Yes, and Rene is a very good man, and I know him personally, and I know his family, and there are a icon within the cultural staple.
Part of the concept of a collective leadership. So
yes.
the way to get involved in the collective leadership is to show up. Remember, one of the things that I think is important is that we're shot about 200 members in the Orange County Republican Party. So therefore, if a person who is Latino shows up and they want to be elected as a precinct person, committeeman, then I can guarantee they'll be elected. Then if they are elected, as we change things and move forward, they'll be in the right spot. So all I can say is that being frustrated, I understand. But I can also guarantee that if you get involved, there'll be a place for you, because we have the openings in the Orange County Republican Executive Committee. Thursday night, 6:45, come to a meeting. And by coming to the meeting, you then start to get qualified to get elected. So therefore, keep coming. That's the only thing I can say. And I will again repeat my event, which is at website All Business Community, that's one word, .biz, that I'm promoting. So therefore, it's open to all people in the Latin community, all people in any minority community. So we're there. Now, I'm also going to say that I would like to see more vigorous effort by the Republican Party of Florida. But that does not mean that we abandon the party. And as you know, I was not an original Trump supporter, but now we're supporting our president. So I don't know what more I can do.
No. You have put your positions point blank. What I am a little bit frustrated is with the leadership of the RPOF and the leadership of OCREC, the Orange County Republican group that is here, in their outreach to the Latino community. Not you. You have done. I know that you've been involved with many Latino activities. What we need, Ken, is we need to clone you about 24 times and have 24 Ken Dwyers out there working their tails off to be able to make contacts with Latino communities and other minority communities, because you've done a hell of a job, Ken. I applaud you. You know that you have my wholehearted support, and if I didn't believe in the work that you did, I wouldn't have you in my radio show. So that is not only once, you've been there more than one time, and hopefully in person we could talk a little bit more. What is that again? When is your activity? When is your activity, please?
It's going to be September 8th. That's a Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Free coffee, free donuts, and free enterprise. And that's going to be at the Asia American Bank at 5210. That's 5210 West Colonial Drive, Suite 120, Chinatown in Colonial West. 32808 is the zip code, so if you want to do it that way. But the website is the best way of doing it. Information is at OCREC headquarters. So everyone come, And I will say it this way. Maybe it is the fact that I am willing to work with people, but I was appointed 5 years ago, and if not now, maybe 7 years ago, by the person you do not like, but Lou Oliver did appoint me to be an outreach person. So,
yep, and I was a member of OCREC in that meeting 7 years ago, and I was one of the ones at second-year nomination. Unfortunately, mysteriously, my membership to OCREC was suddenly dropped without any information sent to me, without anything told to me that I had to renew before the election. So, you see, I have my skepticism with Lou. But again, we've ironed those things out, and I'm dealing with you directly because I think you are a more ethical and correct man, the right man to be able to do this job. And that's why I'm lending you my support, and that's why HRO kind of was told that didn't exist. And people like Lou Marine, you have seen that HRO does exist. And exists in big numbers. The thing of it is that going into OCREC is where a lot of the HRO members seem a little bit weary because of the treatment to Latinos in the past, specifically to me and to 5 other Latinos that were part of OCREC that were mysteriously just dropped from their membership ranks. So, yes. Do I want people, Latino people, to come in and join OCREC and be elected? Yes. But we also have to see from Rene Plasencia his acceptance of HRO, and he understands that HRO, there is no need for an outreach branch in OCREC when HRO exists, and exists with members who are willing to work, but they cannot work for free. This ambition, this business model, this political business model that OCREC wants to use volunteers to defeat highly paid operatives has not worked in the past. And that is what we have to try to educate the higher ups of the Republican Party in Florida, with your help, and continue doing these other meetings, symposiums. HRO will have another show pretty soon. We hope you could make it that time. We have other projects that we're going to be doing in the pending years, now that we're going to get closer to the election year of 2018. But if we do not move the stone will not move itself. Do you agree, Ken?
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes.
Paul Paulson, State Committee man, talk to him. Kathy Gibson. These people have been in the party long enough that I think they can throw some weight to the minority community and get things done.
You're totally correct. And Kathy has been on board and been with me on my show. And she's oh my God, she knows me she knows me more for about more than 11 years, and you too. You know that I've been in the fight for the Republican Party, and that I've been in the fight for statehood for Puerto Rico. That's no stranger. I'm no stranger to those two themes. I will always be a Republican. Even you remember some of the gossip that was going out in the past, that I had switched to the Democratic Party, that I was joining more with Democrats than with Republicans. Well, I was the only one that was switching people from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. Of course I'm going to be meeting with Democrats, and I'm still meeting with Democrats. As a matter of fact, there's an activity from Darren Soto that I'll be going, and you'll be seeing the photographs of me going over and trying to face Congressman Soto to see if he could come to my show, because he's afraid of coming to my radio show, Ken. He does not. I've sent my producer Mimi to try and call him. I've sent my wife to try and call him. I've sent many people to try and call him to come to the show. As soon as they say, listen to me, you know what they say? No, we're not interested, or we're booked, we got something going on. You know, the same thing with Val Demings, and the same thing with Stephanie Murphy. They are afraid to sit in the hot chair and to talk about the topics that really matter to Orange County. And again, Ken, I'm saying these names because in reality, what have these three individuals done for Central Florida that is palpable and true, correct? have our jobs gone up? Have our it is incredible the incompetency of these three individuals. Yet the Republican Party is enveloped in a turmoil. Even this Orlando Sentinel has been saying that there's a division within the Orange County Republican Party. Is the Republican Party in Florida splitting, or upon your knowledge, is it splitting? Are we in an internal strife? What's going on?
Well, let me not comment to that, and let me do it this way. Mm-hmm. The event on September 28th is a nonpartisan event, open to anybody, not built for any political party. Mm-hmm. So that's statement number one. Statement number two is, unfortunately, the size of the Florida Republican Party, all right, means it cannot turn on a dime. Mm-hmm. And I think that may be the other part. Getting the party, which, remember, believe it or not, 16 years ago, the Republican Party was not the majority of the legislature.
Exactly.
Now we are. So therefore, we have to start working again to now build the inside of the Republican Party, since we've been able to build the outside. And that's why I think anyone, whether it be Latino, Asian, black, white, indifferent, comes to an OCREC meeting Thursday night at 6:45, meets the people, they can make up their own mind whether this is the way to row. Remember, not everyone sees things exactly the same way. We disagree on some things, but we agree on the fundamentals. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I feel comfortable coming to your show because I know that what we're doing is right. Mm-hmm, so that makes it simple for me.
And you're totally correct, brother. And I'm very grateful for you being in my show. I'm very humbled, grateful that you're here, and I hope that you could come to other shows, and we could you could come be here physically. I know that you're very busy doing many other things for the Republican Party in Florida, and I'm very grateful. And again, your friendship is of a very big value to me, because you have taught me many things. You've also helped me understand the light of many things that sometimes I vented my frustrations to you. So you are a very unique and very important friend to listen to me, to myself, to HRO, to the Hispanic Republican Organization. And I just wanted to put that out. I am very grateful for all the work that you have done, Ken. You have done an enormous, sometimes thankless jobs, and it's not thankless to me. I thank you so much for the patriotic work that you're doing, the work that you're doing with the minorities, and I pray and urge everybody to go to your meeting. And hopefully in the future we could, between with your help and HRO's help and even this show, Listen to Me, we could do something where we could show the Democratic Party that they don't have the hold on Puerto Rican Americans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, that we can move them to see the light of what the truth of the Republican Party is, that it's not what the lies that they're saying, that Trump is a racist, that we want to kick out everybody, the lies Kenneth, is that the lies that they're saying here in Orange County are so flagrant. We have to try and change their minds. And I'm very grateful for your friendship, brother. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, let me add. Your frustration is the fact that you see a vision. All right? Mm-hmm. I've been handing out political cards since I've been 9 years old, working for my relatives who are all Democrats. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So part of the problem is not a Republican problem. Part of the problem isn't a Democratic problem. It is the nature of how power and everything else works in a democratic system. Mm-hmm. And what is required is the vision that you've got, but it also requires the discipline of keep on going like you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee that we'll all be there together and we'll get this country on the right track.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you so much for being on my show. God bless you. Thank you so much for your friendship. And this is Kenneth Dwyer from the OCREC office. And thank you, brother. We'll be talking soon. And God bless, man. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that was Kenneth Dwyer from OCREC. And just on that note, Mimi, we were talking off the air, basically, before we go on break. You know that I was talking to you about this state senator from Missouri, Maria Chapelle Nadal. She's a Democratic senator from the state legislature. She was tweeting some stuff where she wished that somebody assassinated the president of the United States.
I can't believe you put that on social media.
Yep,
Oh,
Facebook.
wow.
She placed it on Facebook. So let me read something from Fox News, published August 18th, 2017. Secret Service investigates lawmaker's assassination comment. Missouri Governor Eric Greitens joined calls Saturday for State Senate Maria Chapelle Nadal to be expelled from the legislature after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated. The Republican governor put out a string of tweets noting that the lawmakers have called on the Democratic lawmaker to resign and urged the Senate to kick her out. This is the legislature, the Senate legislature of Missouri, not at federal level, but at state level. And I quote from the governor: Senator Chapelle Nadal says she hopes the president is killed. Republicans and Democrats have called on her to resign, he wrote. That's the quote. Last night in an interview, she refuses to apologize twice. If she will not resign, the Senate can vote to remove her. I believe they should. End of quote of the governor of Missouri. I posted something, and then Chapelle Nadal goes on, posted something on my personal Facebook, and I should not have done that. And for that, I am sorry. For that, Chapelle Nadal told St. Louis television station KMOV, but I am not going to shy away from what caused that anger at all. I'm not going to shy away from that.
What did cause that anger?
She's talking about what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, the both clashings of the Black Lives Matter and the white supremacists. Right. Again, you see, Mimi, before we go and break, and it's important, this song from one of our Flow girls, yes, and you will introduce her, is that the Democratic Party has this history of lying. They repeat these lies, and they continue repeating these lies, and you know what? Everybody and anybody starts believing them. For example, do you honestly, if we think about it, do we honestly think that Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, duly elected, because that's another thing that really mind boggles the Democrats. He won this election. There were no hanging chads. There was no doubt he won the election. That he's a racist. He has Jewish grandchildren.
Right.
His wife is from
this country.
Not from this country.
Originally, not from.
You know, so common sense says, how can he be a racist? Because he wanted to try and learn the facts. Of course, he came out really quick when the Kissimmee policemen were killed, but those were facts that were given to him correctly and expeditiously. The situation that happened in Charlottesville was in Virginia was so fluid and moving. You know, he just couldn't come up and say, okay, yeah, all right. And he's been condemning white supremacists since beyond the 1990s. But for a state senator that's supposed to represent the people of Missouri, to come out and wish the death of the president, which is a crime.
Right.
I look at this, and then all of a sudden, look at this. As soon as the Secret Service told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch it is investigating Chapelle Nadal's post. So once we got this editorial, I saw in Fox News that she finally gave a half-hearted apology to President Trump. But right after the Secret Service had been starting to investigate her.
Yeah, in their position, they have to really watch what they say and what they post. They can really influence the public. That comes with what you are. You can't go in a position like that and talk reckless and act reckless.
What the parameters before we go to the break, to our musical break, Mimi, is that politics is and like Kenneth says, the nature of politics, we have to start cleaning, not to use a phrase from Trump, but to clear the swamp, because the thing of it is that if you're being elected to represent the people, it's not what you think the people want to hear, it's what the people want to hear, not what ifs. I can imagine that this state senator, Maria Chapel Nadal, she was elected, like was Darren Soto, like was to the Congress, to the federal Congress, Darren Soto, Stephanie Murphy, Val Demings, and in reality, in our common sense, to everybody who's listening to me in cyberspace that could copy us in YouTube, what has these three individuals done for Central Florida, for their districts, to raise businesses, to make people have more money in their pockets? What have they actually done? Please call me at 407-483-6423. We're going to go on a break in a little while. 407-483-6423. Tell me what Stephanie Murphy, Val Demings, and Darren Soto have done for us, because they have not done anything but to keep on spewing the lies that this state senator, Maria Chapel Nadal, has been pushing. That Trump is a racist, it's false. That the Democratic Party is the party of change, false. They're the ones that want to erase their history. They were the ones in history that formulated the KKK, that killed millions of people between 1870 and 1970, and that was the Great Lie. The decades of the Great Lie, where the Democratic Party said, no, we are the party of the civil rights. No, that's not true. The core group of the Republican Party in Congress in the 60s and 70s was opposed to civil rights and civil liberties. If you don't believe me, look it up. Challenge me. I've researched this. I know what I'm talking about. The Great Lie. The Great Lie. And Kenneth just said it. I may not be in agreement with what's going on with the Republican Party and with what's happening with the Republican Party in Central Florida, but I'm a Republican. Just because there's a difference of opinions, I'm not going to jump and become a Democrat, because that's hypocritical.
Right.
That's hypocritical. And we hadn't talked about politics in a while, so I had to get that jab in there. But anyway, my dear Mimi, introduce to us our musical exit of the day.
Yes, we have Lina Latina. She's from Flow, Fine Ladies of Wrestling. She's also a musical artist, and we're about to play her track right now, This Friend of Mine. So Lina, again, congratulations, man. We love you, girl, and everybody enjoy her track from Flow.
And after the musical break, we're gonna be bugging Mimi. We got a candy trivia we're gonna be playing. So let's see what happens. Listen to me. Bueno, mi gente, este es Listen to Me, the award-nominated show for the Paoli Awards 2017.
Mr. J, that was a beautiful song. That song right there is from Our Ladies from Flow. It's Fine Ladies of Wrestling, Lina Latina. She's also a musical artist as well as the cast member of Flow. Lina, that was a beautiful song. This friend of mine, man.
Exactamente, yes. A friend of mine. And there's a music video also about the song, so go to our Facebook page, Flow, Fine Ladies of Wrestling. You could Google it, and it'll come out in the first page, and you'll see her video right there. Lina Latina.
I'm proud of you, girl.
Fine Ladies of Wrestling. And soon, we're gonna, about Fine Ladies of Wrestling, now that you mention it, Diamond Valentina was very occupied in the Impact Wrestling. She got to meet a lot of the Lucha Underground wrestlers, interview them. So we're going to have her back into the show, and we're going to be talking about wrestling. But again, let me remind everybody that I believe in Wrestling Team Vision Dojo. At the basically they will have on Friday, September 1st. The doors open at 7 p.m. and that's in Narcoossee Road. And basically we're gonna be telling the address in a little while. But you could go to Google Team Vision Dojo. You could get the address there in Narcoossee Road. Friday, September 1st, you're going to see the newest stars that are coming from the newest, from the best dojo in wrestling. I believe in Wrestling Team Vision Dojo in Narcoossee Road. You could call 407-334-2200. 407-334-2200. Get information. You want to learn how to be a wrestler. You want to be in better shape. Check it out. He's going to be the trainer of the Flow cast. Fine ladies of wrestling are going to be training at Team Vision Dojo. The fine ladies of wrestling will be in to make a special appearance at that match. We also have a photo shoot that Saturday, so Flow is flowing, and we're moving. So we're going to be creating that. We also have the in talks. Oh, I have a very interesting thing to tell you. You remember 7 Stars, right?
Yes, of course.
Well, they offered me all their equipment and their website. So he wants us to take over his domain of 7 Stars. So that's kind of funky because we were looking for a place where we could air Flow. So we have to kind of study that dynamics and see if there's something true there. But see how God kind of like throws things up in the air and you go like, huh? Because we wanted to do this project. Some people were saying that the project was moving slowly. We were looking either to go to Telemundo or Super 55. And then all of a sudden, well, here I have a whole cable system that broadcasts online, and I want you to take care of it. That was the deal. And I'm like, wow. So I said, well, I thank very much the gentleman of 7 Stars. We will analyze that deal, and we will see if it's profitable for Flow and for us to be able to do something like that. But what I'm saying with this is that God shows you messages and symbolisms, and you just have to be in tune to it.
Basically, it's your sight of seeing that you are on the right track, that a lot of eyes are catching, and a lot of people want in now.
Yeah.
But this is where it comes into where you have to be a clear mind, stay humble, stay grateful, and pray to God, and make sure the right people in our circle.
Exactly, because as the right people come into our circle, those that want to do bad also are like sharks.
Yes.
They smell blood in the water, and they're like, okay, let's see what I could do. Let's see what I could do. As a matter of fact, Terry Ojuela, who's the casting director and one of the associate producers for our project of Flow, she's been telling us that some of the older girls, the other girls that first of all tried to start all this baloney, then all of a sudden started saying, oh, when are you guys gonna train? When can I come back? And like, well, you know, you knocked out that bridge and now you want to build it. Hey,
So
come on.
never burn your bridges.
Exactly. Number one thing in any industry, you have to verify your sources.
For sure.
You have to make sure you make the right decision, and don't make a decision based on a reaction.
Yes. And don't go off of what you hear.
Exactly. 2 good adults, 2 friends like you and I, we've had our discussions, we've had our decisions, and we come to a happy decision.
Right.
Why? Because I want the best for you and you want the best for me. You keep your individuality with Steward Management. You're with Sama Productions. You're here with the radio show. You're an executive producer. We do not plug our creative juices.
Correct.
You give me your ideas. You tell me what's going on, and basically we flow. Pun on the word flow. So we flow to be able to make this a better show. And you proved your point. You did a hell of you had very little resources for Dance the Runway, and you pulled off a heck of a show. You
Thank you.
pulled off a heck of a show.
Thank you.
Bohemia was the first interaction between you and I.
Right.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
There's still people talking about.
Yeah.
Can you believe that there's still people talking about Bohemia? They're still posting pictures. They're still posting comments in Bohemia, because we did not put un tapón. We didn't put a stop to our creative flow of how we were going to do it. You just took it. You went with it. You were timing us. You were telling people where to go to the cameras. I know I was on stage, but that type of camaraderie is what I think is going to happen with Flow, and is happening with Flow.
Yes.
Because if you look at the pictures and you see the girls, you were there in a conference call, but you never left the conference call. You heard everything that was going on
the whole entire time.
You heard everything. There was chatter. There was fun. There was laughter. We got down to business.
Yep.
We're going to be coming out with a logo pretty soon. We're going to be coming out with a website pretty soon, because Mr. Miguel has told us that we need to kind of give it that individuality in the internet, and it's true. So we're going to be coming out with a website. There's going to be a photo shoot. There's going to be scheduling for training. The girls are going to start to train, so they're going to feel the pain, but it's going to be all flow. So they're going to start training. So we feel that when we have the correct pace, we have both teams already set up. We have our rosters. Yep. We're going to be building the bios pretty soon. So we feel that when God guides us, He guides us and says, okay, well, this is what I think where you should go. And again, he doesn't think about minutes. He doesn't think about days. Minutes, days, hours, a calendar, that was fabricated by man.
Right.
God don't work like that.
As honestly, as well as money. Greed leads to nothing.
Exactly. And they say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yes. That's why you have to have a level head. And the fact that these girls are part of the project not only as talent, they're part of the creative process. And they were asking me, but Jay, are you crazy? You got almost 10 girls there. How do you deal with their egos and stuff like that? And I said, no, I let the egos flow. They do their stuff. But when we got to get down, they understand the concept and the value of this project, and we move forward.
That's when it comes to you're a product of your own environment. When you keep your environment loving, supportive, caring, we stay loyal to each other, you will create happiness. People will be happy. They want to stay. They're comfortable. That's important, Mr. J, because we can't expand this way, because he won't allow it. He'll stop it.
Oh yeah.
He'll destroy it. Trust me, I've seen it. This is why I went up to Steward Management and created my own.
Yeah.
I was tired of all that around me. So right now, the environment we created is like finally, we're able to get a support team where it's real. It's not about ego. It's not about greed. It's not about being on top of each other or fighting over each other. We all have that, like you said, we all able to have that platform to create our creativity, so everyone has a say in their character. Everyone is quite comfortable. I mean, it's a different set form that I've ever seen, which I've always wanted, and I'm so glad. So with that said, I pray that we keep our circle tight, and all the outside that doesn't want the same doesn't get it.
Nah, because I've read the Bible, and the Bible tells of a lot of stories of triumph. And one of the most incredible stories is the life of Christ chronicled through the Bible. He had his ups and downs, but he had his core group of people. He had his 12 apostles. So basically, we cannot aspire to inspire if we do not have a core group. And I think with Flow, we have our core group. Yeah. You and I for the radio show, for Summer Productions when we do all the theatrical presentations, we have that creative juice. But anyway, before I go, I said I wanted to play a trivia game with you. You like candy, right? You like candy.
Of course I like dulce.
All right, you like dulce. All right. So what candy bar was named after the family horse? I'm going to give you a multiple choice. Either Fast Break, Butterfinger, Milky Way, or Sneakers. Ding, ding, ding.
You know what? First guess, Butterfingers.
Actually, you were close, but it wasn't Butterfinger. The Hershey's family horse was named Snickers.
Oh wow, wow.
Okay, so let's try another one. Who invented the candy bar? Milton S. Hershey, Joseph Fry, Henry Nestle, or John Cadbury?
Nestle.
Actually, Joseph Fry, he was the first one to mix the cocoa powder with the caramel, and he came up with the first chocolate bar. He worked for Milton S. Hershey.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So, yeah.
And let me see if you can get this one. There was a candy bar that was made with chocolate, raisins, and peanuts in a 4-square bar. Was that a Reggie candy bar, a Chunky bar, a Nutty Raisin bar, or Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth.
Nope, actually it's a Chunky bar. So see, your trivia of candy is but when my wife brought this, I was looking at the answers and I was like, wow. The year that the original Hershey Milky Chocolate Bar was introduced was in 1900s.
Wow.
You know,
that's so interesting. Write this down.
Yeah, interesting. I'm talking about candy because I can't eat it. I have a problem with my blood sugar, so I'll talk about candy all day. But you know, and another one. Did you know that when introduced in 1932 till about 1975, and I know this because I ate this candy bar. And actually, it was the Three Musketeers. It had 3 pieces of candy in one package with each separate flavors. The flavors were vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Wow.
That's how the Three Musketeers started.
Really? It
was with 3 separate flavors since 1932 all the way to 1975. And I remember this because I used to go to my local Five and Dime, and I would buy a Three Musketeers when I came out of school, from middle school.
So you could buy Three Musketeers different flavors?
Yeah, the Three Musketeers in the same wrapper had three different flavors.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's
it makes sense. Three Musketeers, I get it.
And guess what, Mimi? In the year 1900s, how much was a Hershey bar? Can you imagine?
1900s?
Yeah.
A penny.
Actually, you were close. 5 cents.
5 cents. I believe it.
So remember, and I started looking up in Facebook and in the internet, because you know now the internet has even things of the 1900s. The Hershey wrap was very simple. It said Hershey chocolate bar, milk chocolate, 5 cents. Can you imagine that? 5 cents in 1900 was a lot. Was a lot. I think a pound of sugar was about 5 cents. So imagine that. And these Hershey bars were really big. They were about this big around the 1900s. Yeah, you know that people would buy those, and I guess they would eat off of them for a couple of days.
Yeah,
I don't know,
save
1900.
Yeah, that's 5 cents.
Yeah, my friend. Well, my dear Mimi, I think we've come to an end of another show. Is there anything else that would you like to say?
Just Checkup Sports will be on the air next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be our sponsors for Flow Ladies. They're going to be sponsoring us with some of their sportswear from Mr. Beasley. So he's going to call in next Tuesday at 7:10. So listen to me and listen to Mr. Beasley, because he's going to announce on how he's going to support us and be our sponsor for Flow Ladies.
Good, and that's going to be next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday at 7:10.
Yeah. Next Tuesday we'll have probably other people physically here to talk about a little bit more about the politics. We'll also have an update of the La Comisión de Igualdad for Puerto Rico, the Commission for Pro-Equality of Puerto Rico, that had their first meeting. So those are the 2 senators and the 5 representatives that Puerto Rico has elected to represent them in federal Congress, in Congress. So we're going to see how that's going. But as you say, talent is something that shouldn't be wasted, right? What you say?
I said the saddest thing is wasted talent. Don't waste what God has given you. Don't Don't be afraid, because fear can stop you. And just keep praying and make sure that the people are right for you in your circle.
And I'm very grateful to my friend and my brother in Christ, Miguel Montes. Gracias por su emisora Radio UNT. Este es J. Jesús Rodríguez Caballero, deseándole lo mejor en las bendiciones del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Que me los bendiga muy bien en este martes y en el resto de la semana. We see you next Tuesday. Listen to me.